Imagine writing out a list of all of your enemies, everyone who's ever hurt you, and then one by one sending them love and forgiveness. Basically, ho'oponoponoing your way through the list. Sounds a little counterintuitive, right? Why would I love someone who's hurt me? Well, because everyone is you pushed out. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Fernando and welcome to my channel. So this week I got a comment that really inspired me to come here and film this video. The comment says, "This video inspired me to write a list of everyone I hate or everyone who's ever traumatized me or hurt me and do ho'oponopono on them." Heart emoji. And I thought it was brilliant, so clever. Well, for one, this is something that I have been doing for over a year. I have never made a formal list, but I have been going through people that have been in my life and who have hurt me, and I've been cleaning on them, and it's been magical. And so I thought that insight was phenomenal. So why not film a video on it? And so this is a great idea because for one, this is your way out of hell. Because this is Ho'oponopono 101, right? Taking full responsibility for everything that happens in your experience, in your 3D world, in your video game. And if you're able to do that, you begin creating heaven on earth. Now, if you are not familiar with Ho'oponopono is an ancient cleaning technique that is totally, completely, thoroughly based on metaphysical, hermetic, spiritual principles like everything and everyone is you pushed out. There is no out there. The mirror principle, everything is a reflection, as within, so without. And so this is you, and this is your 3D world, right? Everything that you see is the mirror reflecting stuff back to you. So if you have X ideas in your mind, you will see X ideas in your 3D world. Your 3D world will always reflect back to you what is inside of yourself. And knowing this and living by this is so life-changing because it gives you all of your power back. It's incredible because instead of fighting and blaming and resisting, which just causes more hell on earth, the reflections help you to go back home because the problems, the reflections, the people who hate you, the triggers, they are all guides leading you back home to light, to love, which is literally who you are. You are light, you are love. You are pure, unconditional love, and we're talking about this in just a second. Keep watching. Okay, so Ho'oponopono is the cleaning technique containing the 4 basic statements that I'm sure that you know. You've heard them before. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Ho'oponopono includes gratitude and unconditional love in its practice. Also repentance, right? I'm sorry, please forgive me. It's brilliant. So when you're able to go through the list of people who've hurt you or any triggers really, anything negative that shows up for you in your 3D world and you take full responsibility for them and you clean on them, everything begins to shift. Now, Ho'oponopono, cleaning and resorting to unconditional love, which is literally who you are, which is literally the essence of the universe, has nothing to do with shame, guilt, and blame. None whatsoever. Because imagine if Ho'oponopono was about taking full responsibility for everything and that had to do with shame and guilt. Then, if that were the case, Ho'oponopono would be inducing you to creating hell on earth. Would be inducing you to vibrate at low frequencies, right? It would be a horrible technique, right? So taking full responsibility has nothing to do with shame and guilt. It has to do with remembering who you are. You are an eternal spiritual being, eternal, cosmic, untouchable, indestructible. You are all the power, having a human, temporary, finite, limited experience, right? You are not the body, you are not your conscious mind. These are finite and mortal. When the body dies, you, awareness itself, pure unconditional love, pure light, all words to describe the same thing, you. When the physical body dies, you go on. You are the perception, the awareness that hears my voice right now. You are what hears my voice right now, the witnessing presence. This is who you are. When the body dies, you keep going. You never stop. You are indestructible. You are all the power. And so remembering all of this while incarnated and knowing that we live in a holographic experience, the 3D world looks very real. It looks out there. It looks very solid. It's not the case. Okay, it's a hologram. It's called a hologram for a reason. That's why we say it's a video game. We don't say it lightly. It's literally a video game. And what does that mean? That everything is connected because we are all one. And so if you have the impression that you are alone and separate and that everything is out there and the world is against you and you have no connection to anything and that coincidences are happening out of the blue, think again, because it's a hologram, okay? We are cosmic beings. Everything is consciousness. Everything has consciousness. It's a fabulous video game. But we are so powerful, we can literally create heaven on earth, which is incredible. And that's why we're here having these conversations, right? To go back home and create heaven on earth. But you can also create hell on earth when you forget who you are and you don't remember it and you just blame and point a finger. So taking responsibility for everything is taking all of your power back. So something shows up and it's weird and it's low vibe. Instead of blaming, it's like, what is this reflecting back to me? Because everything is you pushed out. And so when we hate the people who hate us, who traumatized us, who hurt us, we are perpetuating low vibe things in our video game. And so this is the way out of hell. And so this is my list, okay? And I've begun doing this in the beginning of my spiritual awakening, really, a little bit afterward, when I started getting the hang of it a little better, and it's changed everything. So I've shared the story of the Reiki woman many times in many videos before, and that reflection stemmed from my experience with my 9th grade teacher who exposed me in front of everyone and called me out for drawing something inappropriate that I had no idea was inappropriate because I was 9 years old. Okay, so I was editing the video right now, and I say 9th grade, but it's 3rd grade, and I was 9 years old. So the 3rd grade teacher, not 9th grade. Yeah, I was 9 years old, yeah. And now when I see this, it's like, I'm not the victim. I'm never the victim. So she played a part in my experience to help me transmute something that my soul is actually an incorrect way of putting it because I don't have a soul, I am a soul. I have a body, so my body, I am a soul. So me as the soul planned everything before coming here because nothing is out of place, guys. It's a cosmic video game. It's a cosmic experience. And so we as souls, we plan everything before coming here. We come here with a plan, but then we forget everything because the veil of forgetfulness, right? It's designed that way. And so now I know that was meant to be. It was part of my plan. And so she reflected that back to me. And then because that was a traumatizing experience, I began experiencing similar situations with different women throughout my life. One of them was the Reiki woman, and that was the last one because I was able to clean on it. Right before that, I had an issue with a distant aunt in my family. And all of these women, I felt like they were in a more authoritative position with some power over me. Same thing with the 9th grade teacher, right? 3rd grade teacher, not 9th grade. When you're in 9th grade and you have a teacher, she's like the authority, right? And so that pattern played out over and over and over again in my life until I realized who I was when I had my spiritual awakening and I stopped playing the victim. Being the victim will keep you stuck in the slumber state in the video game. It's not fun at all, right? We've all been there. You know what I'm talking about. So taking full responsibility for everything is a blessing, even when the situation presents itself to us and it doesn't feel comfortable, because it doesn't. Right? When a trigger shows up, when something strange comes for you and it's like, oh my gosh, it doesn't feel good, but that's your chance to transmute stuff back to light. When we are embodied on earth, that's where low densities exist. And so the time is now. If a trigger shows up for you, the time is now. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. What is inside of me that is causing this reflection? What is the lesson in this? It's never the other people, it's just a reflection. And these reflections are trying to guide you back home. And so when we leave the body and we're back home in the spirit world, there's no density, so there's nothing to transmute. And so, your chance is lost. But you as the soul, you'll be like, oh, I didn't realize it there, and I didn't make it up for this energy imbalance that I was there literally to balance out. And then it's like, ooh, I gotta go back and incarnate again so that I have the chance, because here is the plane of density. And when we have density and polarity, love and hate, and you are faced with hate, that's your chance to transmute that frequency of hate back to light. And so the time is now, right? And so you are all the power. So it doesn't feel comfortable, but that's your chance, okay? So I had that traumatic experience with my 9th grade teacher.
3rd grade teacher.
And then I had this situation with my distant aunt, and I resented her, I blamed her. I wanted to, I had horrible thoughts towards her. It was really, really, really bad. And a little bit afterwards, I had a spiritual awakening, which, by the way, was when I was having this experience with the Reiki woman. So when I felt abused by her, I had already known of Ho'oponopono. So even though my ego inside of my mind was like, let's seek revenge, let's destroy this woman. That was my ego in my head, and I was like, no, that's not the way. Now we know better. So I had to swallow that pill. That was hard to swallow, and I was like, this is me, it's my video game, I'm creating this. And she is a teacher. She's like, yet again, another female figure coming up to me and going like, are you ready now? Are you ready to transmute this? I mean, I'm a projection here, trying to help you transmute that. And thankfully enough, I knew better, and that's what I did. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, for days and days and days on end. Not feeling great, but cleaning on it up until I got to a point where, okay, that's good. And when I think about her today, it's like, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. I wish healing for you. Thank you for the lesson. Does that mean I want to be friends with her? That I want to be in touch with her? No. Forgiveness has nothing to do with wanting to be friends with someone, keeping in touch. Nothing at all. For you to forgive someone, first of all, the person doesn't even have to be alive, because we are eternal beings and no one really dies. And so the person doesn't have to be alive. You don't have to approach the person and talk to them. It's an inner work, because forgiveness has nothing, it's not about them, it's about you. Forgiveness is not about them, it's about us. Why? I'll show you. Imagine this is you, okay? And you are resenting someone who hurt you. And so your energy field, your aura, your electromagnetic field is looking distorted. So let this distortion, it doesn't look high vibe at all, right? Let this distortion represent the frequency of resentment and hate toward the person who hurt you or who traumatized you or whatever, right? So it's that energy that you are keeping active in your field because you have not forgiven, because you are holding on to a low vibe frequency. So I don't like them, they hurt me. It's not about them. When you are in this place of resentment, you are keeping active in your field low vibe energies. And so therefore, your aura is low vibe. And so therefore, your point of attraction is low vibe. And so your experience is not very high vibe. It's all about you. It's you, 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 you. And so now let this represent the version of you who is able to let go. Forgiving is letting go of something that doesn't serve you. And so it's my mind projection. It's a reflection back to me. There's a lesson in that. Am I able to see the lesson in the problem, in the triggering situation, in the traumatic situation, right? Remember, your soul planned everything, even if you don't remember it, okay? So letting go means like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, unconditional love. Unconditional love. We're gonna talk about this in just a sec, okay? And then you let go of that vibe that you are holding on to. Like Buddha said, holding on to a hot piece of coal is like trying to hurt someone else, but you're the one getting burnt, right? Because you're holding on to the frequency that doesn't serve you. So when you let go, your aura is high vibe, and so you live a better life as a result. So forgiving is about you. It's about you. And the person who hurt you was a teacher, reflecting something back to you that you agreed to clean on, to transmute back to light, if that makes sense, right? And so this is what it's all about, right? Creating an enemies list and like cleaning on them is going from this place of low vibrations to this place, which means creating heaven on earth. You're creating heaven on earth, you're creating hell on earth. It's you, 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 you. Pointing a finger and blaming will never solve the problems. This solves all the problems. And you don't solve them by fighting or resisting. Again, what you resist persists. So it's about letting go, and then the problems just fall away effortlessly. But remember, sometimes those pills are hard to swallow because you have to detach from the ego. It doesn't mean killing the ego. It'll still be there. You will still hear its voice. But it's about detaching and following the path of light, which is the path back home. You are light. You are love. Now, a lot of people trip up when it comes to loving everything and everyone, because it's like, why would I love someone who hurts me? Why would I love someone who hurt me or who traumatized me? If you're thinking along these lines, you're thinking about conditional love. There's a difference between conditional love and unconditional love. Conditional love is the ego-based love. It's the third dimensional love. Is the kind of love that we have access to when we are incarnated on earth. What you are is not the third dimensional love. Third dimensional love is transactional. I give my love to the people I feel that deserve my love. So I love these people and I hate those people. Duality, polarity. So it's the opposite of hate here in duality on earth, if that makes sense. Unconditional love is your essence. Is literally who you are. It's who you are, okay? It is the essence of the universe. Is what permeates everything, all that is. It is, this is important, okay? Unconditional love is acceptance of what is, meaning non-resistance. Eckhart Tolle, he's written the book, The Power of Now, right? Very well-known and respected book, right? An amazing book, by the way. He talks about acceptance, accepting what is, the present moment. The present moment, you're there, you're present with the moment, something shows up. How are you reacting? How are you responding to what's presenting, what's showing up for you? How are you responding? If you begin resisting, oh, I don't like this, and you're fighting it, you are not choosing love, because love is accepting what is. So the person hurt you. I accept what is. There's a lesson in it. Can I learn from it? What is this reflecting back to me? I allow. I accept. Does that mean I want to be friends with those people? No. Does that mean I want to feel conditional love for them? No. but it's the unconditional. It's the one that sets you free because you go back home, because you remain as literally who you are. You are non-resistance itself, okay? But when we come play this game over here, so many traps, okay? And the ego is like, it's here to protect us. It is the mask that we wear to go scuba diving. Without it, we can't really see stuff, so it's part of the design. And we're not taking the mask off in the water, if that makes sense. We're keeping the mask, but we're remembering that we are not the mask. Okay, you are the eyes that see everything behind the mask, if that makes sense, right? And so I began doing this, and it's been a blessing. And so I remember, I cleaned on the Reiki woman, and then I never again experienced a female figure abusing me. I have not, and I feel like it's been cleaned and transmuted, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Reiki woman, for being such an incredible teacher. My father's family, growing up, my father's family is basically three people. My grandfather, who's already passed, my grandmother, and my uncle. My uncle's always been mentally ill. He's lived with his parents all his life. And my grandparents always preferred my dad. They had a preference. And then my sister was born years later. I was born a year later, and they always preferred my sister. When I was young, I didn't really get along with my father's parents. I felt weird around them. And now I know that it's a soul thing, right? And now everything makes way more sense. So I didn't resonate with them, but when we were together, I felt weird. They didn't like me too much. They preferred my sister. Not that I minded that, because I didn't even want to be there, but it was kind of weird. And so when I was like, I guess a teenager or maybe a young adult, I stopped talking to them completely. I just cut ties. It's like, this is weird. It doesn't serve me. I'm just going to cut ties. But I resented them, in a funny way. It's like, they're weird people. I don't like them. So that's what was in the back of my head. And then upon doing this, I was like, oh, my grandparents, let's clean on them. I haven't spoken to them in a very long time. My grandfather has already passed, so I haven't spoken to them in a very long time. I really haven't. But when I remember them and I was on this journey, I was like, ooh, let's clean on them. And I began saying, Grandpa, I love you. Thank you. God bless you. Grandma, I love you. I wish you so many blessings. God bless you. I'm getting the goosebumps. Just say, oof, it's all over me. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful, okay? And I mean it. Does that mean I want to call my grandmother and chat? No, I don't. I don't feel like it, But that's not what it's all about. It's about just cleaning. It's energy. Everything is an inside job. And so I began doing this. My uncle, the same thing. Not too long after that, my dad, I got together with my dad, and he was like, I visited your grandparents, actually my grandmother, right? And she said that there was this money that they were keeping. Your grandfather has already passed. And so she decided to just give this, it was a bunch of dollar bills that they were keeping at home for a very long time. And so she gave it to him, my dad. And he was like, you know what? I'm just going to give half to your sister and half to you. I was like, what? And it was like $750 for me and $750 for my sister. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. Would I have received those bills had I not cleaned? I don't know, because everything is a reflection. We live in a video game. Nothing is set in stone. And I was like, wow. Now, was I cleaning to gain something as a result? No, that's not how it works, okay? But it was an incredible reflection. Really was. The bully in middle school. I was talking to my sister a few months back, and we were talking about middle school and how when I was bullied, and she hated one of them. He was like this big guy, and she was like, oh my gosh, I remember seeing him in school and I just wanted to punch him, And I remember talking to her, and I was like, Thank you. I love you. I began cleaning on the bully. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Love, 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 love. Love is the way out, always. Unconditional love, okay? Remember that there's a difference. I don't want to be in touch with any of these people, okay? I don't want to be friends. I'm not sending them gifts or anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with that. But it's me letting go of those frequencies that I had been holding on to. So forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. Forgiveness does not mean let's be friends. Forgiveness does not mean they win and I lose. It doesn't. It means you win. And they win too because we're connected. So you're letting go of those frequencies that, you know, don't serve anyone, right? And so it's all about this. And so this is very powerful. I loved the comments that I got because it's like, yes, yes, do this. And so this video is to encourage you to do the same. Because when you can do that, when you're able to do that, you just watch your life transform because everything begins to shift. Your video game, your 3D world changes as a result because as within, so without, right? Ancient Hermetic teachings, as within, so without. Mirror principle is the same thing. If you are not able to do it right now, be kind with yourself. It's okay. My sister's been trying to forgive her former husband, and it's been a journey and a process. She has been able to transmute some of it, but not everything. And that's okay. She's like, I'm in a better place today, but I still feel these feelings and I have these thoughts. And I was like, that's okay that you still do. You are making progress. You are on a journey. You are making progress. So be kind with yourself, even if you can't do it right now. But just keep at it. Little by little, you can do it because you are love itself. You are it. It's not outside of yourself. It's literally you. It's inside of you. It's you. So you have this power because you are this power. You are all the power. And so if this message resonates with you, then I'm going to invite you to check out my playlist on Ho'oponopono because Ho'oponopono is your way out of hell. So I'm going to go ahead and link the playlist right here so you can go ahead and check it out